Now we will start with new topic, that is forms of power sharing. Okay, how powers are shared in a country. In that we have altogether 4 forms of power sharing. One by one we will discuss all the 4 forms. The first one is power is shared among different organs of the government. There are 3 organs of the government, that is the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. These are called the 3 organs of government. So power is shared equally among these 3 organs. They are placed on the same level. When we see, we have parliament. Under parliament we have the 3 levels. So here we have the legislature, we have executive and we have judiciary. So you can see all are placed on the same level, different work. The work of the legislature is to make laws. The work of the executive is to execute the law made by the legislature, and finally those rules are followed, or the judiciary help government to see that those rules are followed properly, and if they are not followed then they are punished accordingly. And that's why it is known as horizontal power sharing. Why? They are at the same level, different work but same power. That's why it is known as horizontal power sharing. It is also known as check and balance system. For this, executive appoints the judges of the countries. These judges work for the country and they keep eye or the watch on legislature and executive, okay, that they are functioning properly. If they do not function properly as per the guidelines in the constitution, the judiciary has the power to amend the laws made by the legislature and come up with the new law. It means it is keeping a watch like a dog. That's why it is also known as check and balance system. We start with the second one, that is second form of power sharing, that is among different levels of the government. When we talk about the levels of government, or we can say the tiers of government, so we all are aware that in our country there are 3 levels or 3 tiers of government, that is central government, state government and local government, what we say, under which we have the municipal corporation, municipality and then we have the Panchayati Raj. So the government functions at 3 levels, what I have written on the board, that is national level, state level and local. National level government works for the entire nation, like the present NDA government working for the entire country. Then state government. State government functions only for the particular area, geographical area. Take example Gujarat. So the power of our CM Sri Vijay Rupani is limited only to Gujarat. And finally we have the local self-government. I discussed with you. Okay, every district and further to the town level and to the village level. So they have their own rules and regulation. Further, this form of government is also known as vertical power sharing. Why it is called vertical power sharing? Because the power comes from the highest level, that is central, then it comes to state, and then it comes to local. That's why it is known as vertical power sharing. Finally, it is also considered as federal division of power. We all are aware what federal means. Federal means when the power is divided between center and its subunits. So, the power divided between center and further maybe to the second level, that is state, and maybe further to the ground level, that is local self-government. Third form of power sharing, that is among different social groups. Power sharing, if it is done among different social groups, it maintains peace and smooth going. Because for a smooth running, these different social groups play an important role, especially in decision making. So if it is divided, it is better for the country and better for the government. Take the example of Belgium. They formed the third form of government, what we call it as community government. In community government, they shared the power among all the three sections of the society. That is the French community, the Dutch community, and the German community. So they shared the power among all the three. Similarly, even in our country also, as India is a vast country with diversities, different religions, so if power is concentrated in one or two, it will become very difficult for the country to be ruled smoothly. That's why we have multi-party system. So power is shared among different parties and the sections. So even when the government is formed, certain reservation is also given to the various sections like SCs, STs and OBCs. And many times there are special laws made for the weaker sections of the societies. Say 1/3 seats are reserved for the women in the Panchayati Raj. Certain numbers of seats are reserved for SCs and STs in Lok Sabha. Finally, we come to the last topic of forms of power sharing. That is, power is shared among political parties, pressure groups and movements. Especially these agencies, they play important role in decision making. And when power is shared among different sections, one thing is guaranteed, that power does not remain in the hand of one person or one section of the society. When we talk about political parties, so political parties, we say more than 1400 political parties are there all over India. So they compete in the elections. Why? So that only one party does not come to power. Everyone gets the chance. Sometimes when majority is not there for one party, they form the alliance and try to form the government. Then people get the chance to be consulted how they are to be ruled, and finally the political party comes to power and rule the country. Second one we have is pressure group. Pressure groups, like we have the trade unions, workers union, doctors association, students association. So these are called the pressure groups. The main idea or the objective behind forming these groups is the welfare of that particular group. They work for the development of their section, and with the help of majority or the mass, they pressurize the government for the development of their sections. And finally we come to the movement group. Movement group is something which is formed by anyone. For example, say Narmada Bachao Andolan. It was just started by one single person. But as the people get involved in it and it becomes a large one, it becomes a successful. Again, the agenda is same. They pressurize the government. So what it happened in the case of Narmada Bachao Andolan or say Tehri Dam? The people pressurize the government for that, and finally the government has to work in their favor.